Hello everyone and welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Welcome one and all, whether you are brand new and this is the first time you have clicked upon one of these videos, or whether you are returning or a new subscriber. Welcome one and all. I want to firstly thank everybody for downloading and checking out the Unicorn Light podcast and all your beautiful comments and your lovely ratings. Really appreciate it. And I do want to let you know that there is a fourth episode up. It is all about skipping timelines. So taking your manifestation one step further. There is easy tricks and tips as to how to find your perfect timeline and get on it as quickly as possible. So as always, there's practical advice and how to go through each and every different kinds of timelines, whether you're going for something just a little bit of an upgrade, or whether you're going for $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's all in that beautiful episode 4 of Unicorn Light podcast. So it's on Spotify and iTunes, I believe. Yes, I'm going to leave the link down below. So if you haven't checked it out already, do check out the podcast. It's wonderful. We've got 3 other episodes and a gorgeous intro too. And if you have checked it out, do check out, I was going to say pile 4, but you know what I mean. Episode 4. It is epic. Okay, now we have an amazing festive getting into the holiday season, but these are all timeless readings regardless, so you don't need to worry about it. But yeah, we do have a little festivities going on here. We're bringing in the energy of the holidays. So which holiday ornament has a message for you? And then we are finding out what magic is in store for you this holiday season. So we've only got really 1 month left, even though this is a timeless reading. But if you are clicking on this video in the time of December, then we have 1 month left in the holiday season, December. So what magic is left for you in 2021? We are finding out today. As always, we have 3 piles. So on your first pile, you have the star purple ornament. Then we have, they're all glitter, of course. And then we have silver, I thought about that, ornament here in the middle. And then we have this beautiful blue color here, this bulbul on pile 3. And of course, we always have our magic candle in the background, the flame in the background, even though it may not be actually on camera. It's there supporting your reading. So as always, take as much time as you need. If you need to go ahead and pause the video and come back to yourself, the more aligned you are with your own soul and your own intuition, the more these readings are going to resonate. If the first pile doesn't resonate, feel free to choose another one. As always, obviously, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But hopefully there's a nugget of wisdom for you in at least one of these piles, if not all of them. So let's go ahead. And of course, when you come back, if you're pausing the video, the timestamps are down below. As always, you can go straight to your reading. Let's do that. Let's go straight to your reading as these bulbils go everywhere. So we're going to put aside pile 2 and pile 3 for now. So if you chose pile 1 and the purple star, we're going to leave that there for you. So the magic that's in store for you this holiday season. Let's find out, shall we? Indeed. Oh, beautiful. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? That is your first card here. We're going to start off with Oracle. You've got Love, number 6, too. And this is Bury Me. Take some time for yourself. Well, obviously, there's a theme here already, pile 1. And then you've got stargazing. Oh, you've got Star Mother and stargazing. I love that. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will follow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Wonderful. Let's move these back a little bit so we can get you some more room. So what magic is in store for you? So pile 1, what we see is that taking some time for yourself and coming back to who you are. And this is all about trusting yourself and really clicking into your intuition. You've been working on trusting yourself without a shadow of a doubt. So we don't need to go on with that. But using that trust and how you trust your intuition and clicking into it and how you work with it with purpose is what is the magic that's being given to you. So before, a lot of you, and again, these are general readings, so it may not resonate with every single one of you, but a lot of you have been working to really factor in your own energy and how you feel about things, because you're so open that sometimes you ask for a lot of different advice, or you look up different things and you try to get as much research as you can in something, and you do listen to your intuition, but sometimes it can falter because you listen to your intuition and then you feel as though there's need for more information. And as you've been stepping into your intuition and really working with your intuition, you've been learning that the intuition takes you to what you need to know. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't be well informed, not at all. But we don't even need to say that with you, Pile 1, because you are well informed. You can see every different perspective and every different version of something. So you tend to overthink things and then become a little bit sort of ungrounded. So this is a step in the right direction, and this is a really firm step, 2 feet, for the end of this year, or for the holiday season coming in, where not only you take all of what you've learned about really trusting yourself and trusting your intuition, but you learn to work with your intuition and you believe your intuition. So there's a part of you that still doesn't quite trust that you have, and the thing is, it's like, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to say this. So in the past, a lot of you might have thought, well, I don't think a lot of myself, or I don't have a lot of faith in myself. So when I choose something, I sort of falter. I come backwards and forwards. And if I do choose something, sometimes I found out that it's not what I really wanted. I kind of settled. And so there's a little bit of sort of fear about choosing something, a little bit. But it's not necessarily for the reasons that you think. A lot of you sort of second guess yourself because you think at the end of the day it's about sort of not trusting yourself, or not believing at the end of the day that you deserve what you want. And actually you do deserve what you want, and you do believe that. But it's a lack of trust, really. And this is kind of a big deal. It's not a lack of trust in yourself, like a lot of you may have thought. It's a lack of trust in the universe. In the past, when you've done things, they haven't panned out. Or you've gone for things that you thought you wanted, and like you didn't really want them, but you've gotten yourself into a lot of situations, and a lot of things have happened to you in the past where you sort of blamed the universe, even blamed God, or whatever, however you see it. And this is perfectly normal. It's perfectly natural. It's a very human thing to do. And you sort of felt very sort of out of control of your life at certain points. Now, the last part of this puzzle, for want of a better term, is that you've been working on your intuition. You've been working on solidly, like, trusting yourself. And you've also been trusting that you believe, that you know, that everything that you desire, that you are worthy of. And all of those things have really come into play. Come into place and really solidified. For you, the last thing is really making amends with the universe. Now, on an instinctive level, and this is not a small thing, again, on an instinctive level, you do understand that the universe is working for you. When somebody says that to you, the universe is working for you. The universe wants everything good for you. You can feel it, and you don't think it's wrong. You're like, yeah, I understand it. But the knowledge of that has not seeped in. It's not actually made a home within you in every live cell that you have. There's still a little animosity about being left, or feeling abandoned, and feeling as though you weren't where you needed to be, and you didn't get enough help, and somehow feeling a little isolated from the universe. And as you move forward with manifestation and really getting back into your magical badass self, because it never left, this is sort of the last version of it. This is the last thing that you need to do to figure out and make your peace with the universe. And each and every one of you will step up to this in a completely different way, because you've all had completely different experiences that are unique only to you. We can't really tell you how to do that. But some of it is coming back to yourself. Some of it is honoring every aspect of everything that you've been through. and taking responsibility for your entire life. All right, I did do that. Yes, it did not work out that time, and leaving it so. Instead of going back to the past and well, it's not going to work out again because it didn't in the past. Literally making peace with your past so you can absolutely leave it behind and open up a new chapter for good. So when you say, my past is my past, it's no longer affecting your now moment. Without a shadow of a doubt. Gather up all the wisdom that you needed. Maybe you didn't do what you wanted to do in certain ways. Maybe you did feel as though you fell short. Maybe you are angry a little bit that you went for something that you thought you could get and you should have done this instead. But that's where you were at the time, and those lessons were needed at the time. It doesn't mean that you're going to repeat them. But there's some of you are feeling a little bit of even panic or a little bit of doubt. Oh my goodness, am I going to repeat this? Is this going to be okay? Will this be enough? Am I enough? And it's not because you don't believe in yourself. It's because you need to really we don't need to do anything. But having that trust with the universe again, you'll be in that surrendering moment. And then everything that you've done to really solidify all that belief in yourself and going for what you actually want and putting your needs first, because this is something that you've been actively working on, can really be focused upon, and it can be really solidified once you sort of surrender to the universe. That's the last part. You need the universe to be able to do this. A lot of you have done this on your own, and you've been hyper vigilant about doing this stuff on your own. So when the universe failed you, you were angry at the universe, but you weren't really listening or connected to the universe. Just a little bit of real talk, pile one, because you wanted to do things on your own. You wanted to be in control of it. You thought you had it. And also, and it's heart-rendering, this part of it too, is because there wasn't a lot of people for a lot of you in pile one that you could actually rely on. And more importantly, it took you a little while to kind of figure out who was a good role model. Like a lot of you, some of you may have had great role models. That's wonderful, but not all of you had great role models. So you had to figure out how to do all of this stuff on your own. And a lot of us don't have to do that. A lot of us get taught like sort of stuff, when you're a kid, and and then the rest of it you get to figure out. So you get to build that firm foundation when you were a child, but a lot of you really didn't get to do that. So you didn't know how to rely on the universe. You didn't know that you didn't have to do all of this stuff on your own. So when it fell flat, you blamed yourself, but you also blamed God. You blamed the universe because you didn't know how to connect to it. You weren't really taught to it. And even if you were taught to it, it was taught to you in a way that didn't work with your soul. Like if if you were really spiritual, but you were forced into Christianity, it didn't really hold any space for you. So there was no connection there. Or if you were brought up in a spiritual family and you were ultra Christian, that wouldn't, the vice versa, it wouldn't have worked for you. So, and the people who are around you were doing their best. No one's saying anything about that. But the help they had for you wasn't really about you. They weren't really, not all of your needs were being taken into account. So they were doing the best they could based on what they knew, but they weren't really willing to update and kind of learn from what they didn't know to kind of help the next generation. You had to figure this all out on your own. So this is an incredible feat, because coming back to all the self-love and all the healing that you've been doing, and it's a considerable amount, now you're in a position to take this one step further. Not only can you trust yourself, not only can you trust that whatever you desire is coming to you, but you can trust the universe to deliver it in a way, because you have this new unfractured responsibility and unfractured kind of relationship with the universe, where you can feel safe and know that you're going to be okay in this lifetime in a way that you haven't done before. So this is a new way of doing it. And again, each and every one of you is going to have a way to do this for yourself. So a way of connecting. And this is something that you've been working on. So it's not actively out of nowhere. And, as we say on this all the time, no need to go down the rabbit hole. There's not a hole. This is not about healing. You've done all the healing. It's about putting all the healing that you've done into a sort of an active kind of position and attaching it onto the way in which you feel about the universe, and then letting the universe perform that miracle. So for some of you, it is the remothering. For some of you, it is really embracing the divine feminine aspect. For some of you, it will be the releasing fully of your past without going back there. at all. Taking the wisdom and not, literally past is my past. I'm not even going to bring it up anymore. Like none of it's relevant anymore. You've taken that wisdom, it's been integrated. That's for some of you. Let's have a look. Let's get some more specifics. You've got the Seven of Cups here. And you've got the Wheel of Fortune with love. So for some of you, you have this, you want to move forward in something. And for some of you, it's very specific about what it is. It's a job opportunity. It's something, it's changing your life. It's shifting your life. Let's see. Hang on a second. I just want to, sorry about this, pile one. Yeah, I just want to change the lighting a little bit so you can see the cards. So for some of you, it's making that active choice. Putting your 2 feet behind it and then putting all of your energy behind it and working with the universe and saying, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm willing to do this. I'm choosing what I want. I know that I deserve it. I know this is the right thing for me because I'm choosing for my higher self. I know that I can do this, and I know excellent results are going to come in, far more than I could ever imagine. And I know this because I trust you, universe. I know you have my back. I know that I'm not doing this on my own, and I'm surrendering the process to you, but also taking aligned action to make everything come true, right? So it's about choosing something that you want really specifically, and you can test the universe with it too. It doesn't have to be huge about moving or taking this one opportunity. It can be one small thing, but having that attachment in a way that it's, when we say attachment, for you, we're using that word because it's important that you know that you are attached to the universe. You're not just attached to the universe. You are actually the universe. You're a part of the universe. You're a fractal compound of the universe. So it has to involve you. It has to work with you. And it's not because, oh my God, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. It wants to do it because you are the universe. You are part of the universe. You are a multi-universes within yourself. You have all of this magic to be able to use. It's just a matter of honing in on the energy and working with the universe. So you've worked on your own energy for so long and how to do this. It's about moving forward, and you can move forward in any way because you've got so much power. You know that when you put your energy into something, it's sometimes gone against you because you've got so much power, but the focus wasn't there. So it didn't work out. So you can sense your power. But the reason why it didn't work out before is because there wasn't enough energy behind it. And that is because, and this is very, very important, because deep down, Pile 1, you didn't really want it. So the things that didn't really work out weren't for your highest interest anyway. So honestly, for a lot of you, just let it go. There's no reason in going back on and go, well, it didn't work out before. It wasn't supposed to. If it worked out before, you would be in a completely different situation right now. And right now, you're exactly where you need to be because you're going to take off in exactly what you want to do. If something took off a little bit earlier, you would have gone down another path, and then you wouldn't have had all this gloriousness coming in for you. So choose something that you want and put all those active components together and make it happen. Make it happen. You can absolutely do that with the Wheel of Fortune. You've got the 9 of Wands here, and you've got the 3 of Cups. And again, this is all about celebration, coming together. You're not meant to do this alone. You're not supposed to be here alone. Some of you are real loners in a way, and that's fine. And that's how you figured out, how you work versus the rest of the world, because, you your energy is involved in collective energies too. So some of you have to come out of that energy in order to sort of regroup. So there's a loner aspect to a lot of you, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to change that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So you don't need to change it. And all of your best ideas happen when you're open, stargazing in the evening, night owls, or when you're happiest sort of free, when you're in that space of not expecting, when you're in that space of trust and love. That's when your best ideas come. And don't think for a second that you can't activate those ideas. You just need to put those components in the right place. And also you have to know that everything is working for you. It's so important. If we could leave you with one thing right now, is that the universe is working with you to get you everything that you want. Your ancestors, your guides are working with you to get you everything that you want. All the work that you've done suggests that there's no reason why everything that you want won't come to you. If you want it and you put your energy behind it, aligned action, and you trust the universe and work with the universe and stop trying to do this all on your own, it will absolutely happen without a shadow of a doubt. So this is about you choosing. And whatever you choose is completely up to you. And again, unique. Every single one of you will have a different version of this. It's up to you to choose what you want. It's up to you to put your action in. I know I deserve this. I've got this. And it's up to you to trust the universe to deliver the highest form. So some of you are worried about falling flat. It's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be as great as I think it is. And that's part of, dumbing things down so you're not disappointed if it doesn't take off the way in which you think it should because of the way things have piled or things have worked out in the past. Again, leave your past behind. There's no way you need to be looking back right now. All of those things fell flat because you weren't supposed to do them. They weren't of your higher self. Whatever you did and whatever experience you put yourself through to get through that is the experience that you needed. But you didn't need to have that particular thing or situation take off in the way that you needed it to, or you thought you needed it to. So, you're just trying to protect yourself. There's no reason to protect yourself. Think the highest version of what this could happen, right? And know that everybody is behind you, making sure the highest version of this, the most success is going to happen with this, and let it go, and then let the success, take flight. But again, coming back to that relationship with the universe, and each and every one of you has been chipping away at this, and this all comes down to feeling safe. Some of you guys have abandoned stuff. You've had to work on abandonment issues. None of that stuff is easy. You had to, and that's why a lot of these things fell flat, because you needed the experience. You had to work through all of this stuff, and it was a hard going. It was a hard slog for a lot of you. And a lot of you were you were holding that abandonment stuff from the family bloodline, the immediate family bloodline, not just all the way back, but from mother, parents. They hadn't figured that out yet. And you were carrying that, and you had to carry that. And it was a lot for you to work through. So give yourself a break. You're exactly where you need to be. Now it's about really trusting that the universe has your back. And this is the last part of it, right? Because you've worked on all of that. You deserve what you're doing. A lot of you are really humble. So when people say, you're really good at this, you're like, really? And you kind of know, but you're not like straight up going, oh yeah, I know. But you kind of do. And that humbleness is really beautiful. But you know enough to know that you are worthy of what you're going for. And you do have that intuition. You do trust yourself. And you do know that you have enough help to be able to do this. You have enough support. So taking it one step further and sort of building those bridges with the universe and saying, we haven't always had the greatest relationship, or I haven't always thought greatly of you, to be honest, right? They can take it. That's fine. They're not going, well, you know what? I don't like you either. They're not doing that. They're going, welcome home. This is your welcome home moment. So click into that beautiful way that you see the universe. And all of you have been working with this in various different ways. This is not like a brand new thing you need to start off on, and I don't know how to work with the universe. Not at all. You've been chipping away at this. This is the last part of solidifying and bringing all this energy together and saying, all right, I'm releasing to you now. I'm trusting to you now. And again, the star mother, the divine feminine aspect is coming in to be able to do that. Again, putting your energy first, making sure that you're taking responsibility for your actions, and also at the same time taking responsibility for how brilliant and beautiful you are on the inside and on the exterior. Really just honing in on your gifts and trusting them, choosing something and saying, I'm ready to do this, because you're ready to take off. And some of you are hesitating because you don't want it to fall flat. It won't fall flat. There's just a few more steps for you to do. Again, there's nothing more for you to heal or do anything like that. Just go at it and release with the universe. And not to harp on about it, but this just came into my mind too. If you haven't checked out the podcast, you might want to do that, because skipping timelines or shifting timelines is definitely the new one that I've just uploaded, episode 4. But the manifestation one, and it's all about working with your own energy and working with the universe and stuff. So they're all useful. But if you haven't checked out the podcast, definitely at least check out episode 4 of Shifting Timelines. That's really going to help you solidify all of this work too. all of these words that we've been talking about. So that's what we have for you, beautiful pile one. You've got everything in line. It's just a matter of putting it all together and sort of seeing it slightly differently. It's just a tiny tweak in perception. That's it. But don't think as though, this, don't overthink it. There's not a lot of work to do. There's not a lot of healing to do. It's taking all the healing that you've done and solidifying and just being able to integrate it so you can release it. Great things are coming in for you. And yeah, the Wheel of Fortune technically can go in either direction. It can. It absolutely can. But there's no way that it's not going to go in a great fortune for you, in a great way, if you don't put all this energy, if you put all of this energy together and honor yourself and honor everything that you want. As long as you go for something that's of your highest self and that's on your path, you are literally guaranteed success. So we are wishing you so much beauty, and we are sending you so much beautiful support and love for exactly where you are and who you are in the world. And of course, if you like these readings or even love them and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe. We would love to have you. And of course, hit that bell icon so you never miss a reading. I'm trying to do 3 a week. I did 2 last week because it was Thanksgiving, so it was a holiday, but doing 3 a week, so you don't want to miss out on those. And of course, hit the like button. We love hearing from you. All right, my darling pile ones, until we meet again, you take care of yourself. Go be you. Bye-bye. Okay, all you beautiful pile twos, if you chose they're all glittery, but if you chose raindrop bauble silver, I've got glitter all over my hands now. This is your reading. And again, what magic is in store for you this holiday, beautiful season. Let's get right into your reading. As always, we're going to start with oracle cards. We have your magic candle in the distance supporting your reading. And of course, we'll get into tarot a little bit later on. So you've got look in a book. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insight you seek. Beautiful. That's your first card. Then you've got All Souls 24. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Gorgeousness. Follow your dreams. Love this. 85. And Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion. Priestess, mystic, teacher. Love that. So what magic is coming to you this season? So you're being asked to sort of open your path a little bit. A lot of you have been, and again, these are general readings, so see what resonates with this. But you've all been very focused on your energy about moving forward, and you've been solidifying how you're going to do that. And all of that is absolutely wonderful. Keep it up. That's wonderful. But there's a little bit of energy. It's a little bit of frustration about how quickly or how slowly things are moving. So this is a suggestion for all of you. And it's going to seem a little weird, but bear with us, right? A little counterproductive. Totally understand that. But bear with us. So you have everything in, you have all your ducks in a row, and you have a clearer idea of where you're going and the choices that you're making. And at the very least, you've eliminated things that you're definitely not going to do. So you're honing in on it, right? And you're really working on the understanding that you deserve it and that this is divine timing for you, without a shadow of a doubt. You've been working on that. And sort of the universe has been working with you to really shed some light on how brilliant you are and how the divine timing is coming in for you. Now, you following your dreams is neither here nor there, because you're going to do that. You're very much in touch with your higher self, and you're ready to do this. And again, this is the counterproductive. Your magic really comes to you and will come in much quicker for you if you really sort of lighten up. I always say enlighten up, right? Lighten up, pick up a book, have some fun, watch some silly movies, not be so ultra focused on what it is that you're doing. You need to give a little bit of space and a little room, it needs to ruminate, a little room to what you're doing. You work so hard, and sometimes you over focus, that the focus that you have, you believe needs to come back, it should be rewarded. And it's a strange thing with the universe, right? It's a very strange thing. Now, we're not going to suggest in a million years, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, hard work doesn't pay off. I'm not going to do that. Of course it does. But aligned action pays off a lot better and a lot quicker, to be honest with you. So you want to work less, not more. You just want to work in a very specific way. So the way in which you're working, and it's not like you're overworking. You're doing what you need to do, but there's a lot of effort and focus being put into what you're doing. And that's fine, but you can loosen the reins a little bit, and again allow in a little bit of room for that magic, right? Allow in a little bit of room for that magic, a little bit of joy. Pick up those tarot cards, start using them again. All of those books that you've bought recently and they've been sitting on your bedside table or in your shelf, bring them out, start reading. Yeah, really take your mind somewhere else and keep doing that and bring in the joy again. And that's where the magic is. The magic is when you don't focus so much on what you're doing. There's room for the magic to be delivered. You've put all your ducks in a row. You don't need to worry about it. And for those of you who are still figuring out the last duck in a row, again, at least you know what you don't want. You've been eliminating what you don't want. And that's a really productive, beautiful way of doing it. A lot of people know what they want, and that's fine. And I've always done it that way. I've always eliminated what I don't want and see what's left. And then actually I do want that. There's no right or wrong way to go about it, but you are very close to discovering what it is that you do want. And more importantly, you're on this track. You're on this success track. As you're moving forward and discovering what you don't like and what you don't want and discovering what you do, you're also building up the momentum of understanding that you deserve what you want. You deserve what you want. So you're on the right track doing it, and you're definitely on your path. You're on your path following your dreams. You also know that you're here to make a difference in other people's lives. You also know that there's a myriad of different ways of doing that. Some of you have endless amount of talents, and it can be difficult because as we're trying to break out of sort of systems in the world and how we're perceived, how we need to be making our money, sometimes we fall into the trap a little bit of choosing what we think we're good at, and then figuring that that's what we're supposed to do for a living. I'm good at this, so I'm going to do it. And some people do that and it works out really well for them, and that's fine. But it doesn't necessarily mean just because you're good at it, you need to do it. So there's a way of opening all of that up. And again, for those of you who are still like really solidifying what it specifically that you want to do, you're a lot closer than you think you are. And actually that could be solidified a lot quicker if you allow in these moments of magic and beauty. Take some time off. A lot of you are like, no, this is my time to do this. We're not suggesting that you just say, F it, I'm not doing this, I don't need to do it. Tarot reader said we don't need to do it, it's just going to happen. Aligned action. Even if there's things that you need to do to move forward, or you've decided what you want to do and there's things that you need to put in place, there's energy that needs to be behind it, that's fine. Do it with enthusiasm and joy, but don't do it with the mindset of I need to do this is work. Right? Try and really enlighten up your mindset. That's really going to allow for all of this magic to be delivered. Because here's the thing, Pal 2, you've done so much work on yourself, you've done so much healing, and the universe is ready to sort of to mirror your energy and give you tons of opportunities, right? But you're kind of blocking them a little bit because you want to do everything yourself, and you're also sort of not overthinking things necessarily, but there's too much effort going into it. There's just too much effort. Whatever it is that you're doing is enough. Aligned action is enough. You don't need to sort of try and figure out how each aligned action that you're taking is going to spear off and go off in different directions. You're driving your mind crazy, right? And in that, your mind is so focused on what you need to do, and it's going round and round and round. It's not allowing in the magic and the opportunities that can come in, where if you give it space, then something comes in. Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but you know what? I can incorporate that in X, Y, and Z, and that'll be wonderful. I love that. Thank you, universe. I never would have thought of that. So it's great to be single-minded, and you tend to be like that when you're on one, right? When you know what you're doing. But at the same time, this is a good way to sort of slow down. Do what you need to do, again, aligned action, but just be really open to how you conduct that aligned action, and just be really open. And again, sort of bring in different kind of, if there's a book that you wanted to read, but you haven't found it, find the time. Really open up your mind to new thoughts and new ideas. And we don't mean going on YouTube and watching a load of rubbish in your mind, getting your blood pressure up and all that silly stuff. We have magical books. Whatever it is that you need to do, watching Winnie the Pooh, something, whatever it is that's bringing in the magic back, right? lots of different things. For some of you, sort of designing tarot cards or runes keep coming up for some of you. Again, that just might be for a few of you. Getting back to learning runes or working with runes or jewelry with runes, whatever it is that you do that you see as something that's sidelined, something that you do for fun or for joy, something that you do when you have the time for it. We want you to integrate it into your everyday life now and keep it that way. Keep it that way. Because don't wait for, spend an hour reading, take 20 minutes every day to read, whatever it is that you want to do if you don't have a lot of time. But incorporate all of that stuff now and don't wait until you feel as though you have time to do it. If you've been starting that musical instrument and you've been like, there's so many other things that I need to do and I haven't touched it in a couple of days, make sure you spend 15 minutes every day doing that. And don't see it as a chore either. I've got 15 minutes to do here, 15 minutes to do that. We want you to open up your schedule. We want you to see your day as a dance, free flowing. Everything flows into everything else. There's more than enough time to get everything done and still be on top of like your work and all of that. But we want you to come back into that understanding of beauty. Yeah, you've got the Four of Pentacles here with the book and you've got the Six of Wands. So you've got this celebration coming in. And we want you to be in that celebratory mood every day. And we also want you sort of incorporating beautiful things back into your world. You've been transmuting a lot of dense energy. And in order to do that, you've been putting your energy around dense energy in order to transmute it. And we want you to level up and sort of integrate much more beauty and gorgeousness into the world. Now, some of you have gone completely the other way where you really do understand that there is beauty in the world, but there's a part of you that's really held down by the 3D existence. And it's kind of morbid right now, right? It feels kind of dense in the 3D existence and the collective because everything's been coming up to the surface. And and everybody's kind of convinced that they've got the right way moving forward, and that's fine, whatever they think. It doesn't matter. That's not what the reading is about. But really at the end of the day, it's the denseness of it. We want you to not get rid of the denseness because you're transmuting it, but we want to remind you that the world is actually beautiful and there's essences of the 3D world that's beautiful. There's gorgeous things that were written, there's beautiful films that were made, there's gorgeous sceneries out there, the nature is gorgeous. I mean, we want to remind you of all the beauty that's in the 3D world too, because a lot of you want to completely transcend it, right? And there's, that's a little bit of a shame. It's about bringing the 5D to the 3D and integrating it all. We're here to have a human experience. So that part of it may not be for every single one of you, but you also want to move forward in the way that you want to move forward. You want to be responsible for your own energy. You want to be successful doing what it is that you want to do. You're not willing to dumb yourself down anymore or settle for anything that isn't worthy of you. And that's wonderful. And we want you to do that. And you're absolutely dedicated to do that. So, but the over focusing on it is maybe a little bit, and this is just a little bit of real talk. We're not saying this is true, but we're asking you this question. Think about it for a second. Are you really sort of over focusing on what you're doing because there's an element of you that doesn't trust that you're going to get what you want? Just sit with that for a second. So bring in that joy, bring in that energy. And that is the magic that's in store for you, because there's so much that's in store for you opportunity-wise, and it just needs that clearing. It needs that energy, and it needs that release for it to be let in. And also, we want you to enjoy every moment of every day of what you do. And you do love what you do. That's no two ways about it. Whatever you've chosen to do, you've chosen to do it because you love it. So you want it on the forefront of what you do, and it's clicked in. You're clicked into your blueprint. You know why you're here. You have a hell of a lot of beautiful energy, and the mystic teacher is coming in. And also you've worked through a lot of stuff about yourself too. So you know all about that self-worth. You can help others see that. You have that compassion. You can help others with that too. And honestly, there's a non-judgment part of you. Whoa, don't we need that in the 3D world right now, Just letting people be who they are no matter what. It doesn't have to be X, Y, or Z. It's just like, I honor you wherever you're coming from. That's cool, man. If it works for you, go be you, Don't we need more of that attitude? And you definitely have that. So you have that trust and you can be there for other people. And just by standing in that energy and that authenticity and that uniqueness of what you have, you just, other people are going to do it too. They're going to see you as a beacon of light no matter what you do. But yeah, there's something specific that you're doing in this lifetime. So you're clicked into it. There's no way that you're going to deviate off that path. You may have before, but that's because you wanted a whole lot of different experiences. So, you signed up for that. You wanted a whole lot of different experiences. So yeah, you went off and did this and went down that side road and went down that side road. But you know what? I mean, it was kind of naughty and it was kind of fun and you learned something from it, right? You're not going to do that right now. You're on your path. You're not going to deviate from it, but we want you to integrate so much more into this and also just trust the universe so you release into that and know that you absolutely deserve it and it will be delivered to you and it will be delivered to you quicker. So for those of you who are feeling a little frustrated with the pace of this moving forward, trust us, it's happening. You got to allow it to happen. You got that Page of Wands here, follow your dreams, and you got that Page of Cups. Yeah, absolutely. You got this beautiful emotionality and this understanding of how you transmute the energy mixed with or blending beautifully with that passion and that gorgeousness and that fire energy, right? So, sometimes with fire, water can take out fire, and it can just sort of dumb it down. But for you, you're putting that, you're taking the flames of the fire and you're fanning them out with the water a little bit, and it's all working out. All of this it's supposedly polar opposites, but it really, really isn't. It works together. You just got to bring it together and absolutely trust. So we have this a little bit with Pile 1, but a completely different energy here. And so far as it's all about how you bring the different components of yourself together and work with the universe. A very different energy and different advice that we gave in Pile 1. But you have everything you need to move forward. It's just a matter of integrating all of that other beauty. And there's just so much beauty. We want to bring you back to so much beauty. And also bringing you back to that beauty will inspire you to really come back into your own energy because there's, your inner child wants to play. And there's no reason why you can't play and have your inner child at the forefront of what you're doing and still be in aligned action and still get everything that you want done on your list. We just want you to get out of the mindset of ticking everything off and then, all right, it's done. Now what? We want you to again, see everything as a dance, free flowing all the way through your day, but allow in all of these other things that, you didn't have time for that you wanted to do. Allow them all in. We just want you to have the most beautiful experience in this lifetime. And it's almost like you have a part of you that's like, I'll get this done and then I'll enjoy myself. I'll get this done and then I'll enjoy myself. Enjoy yourself while you're doing everything. And as you do that, that energy brings in the highest state of whatever you put out there without a shadow of a doubt. So you're on the right track. You're absolutely there for success. You've honed in on it. You know what you're doing. There's nothing that you cannot achieve at this moment, really. It's just a matter, again, it's just a little tweak in perception for you to be able to see and enjoy every moment of it and not just waiting for the results to show up. We want you to enjoy and trust that whatever shows up is going to be right for you. It's going to be brilliant. And if things that you put out there, fall flat a little bit, then there's something bigger coming in for you. Absolutely. There's no two ways about it. With your energy right now, and this is something that you've asked the universe for, whether you're conscious of it or not, you really don't want to be taken down the garden path, as we say at home. You've done all that for experience. You're here for experience, that's fine, but you don't want to deviate from your path right now. That's not to say that you're not open to many different ways for it manifesting, but you want the highest of what you can achieve at this time. You don't want to waste your time on this, that, and the other. So if something falls flat, you've made an agreement with the universe that something better is coming in for you. So trust that if that did not work out for you, it was not meant for you. So absolutely trust that. Now, in the past, you've gotten things before that wasn't quite what you wanted, but there was something to learn from it and you were there for the experience. That's fine. You took it, you moved on, but that's not happening now. That's not happening now. So very, very clearly, the universe does not want you to waste your time, without a shadow of a doubt, but you don't need to take that one step further and just be racing to everywhere that you need to go. Enjoy the journey, bring in that magic in every moment and again in every day. So a lot of you like a lot of fairy energy, a lot of moon energy, getting back to you again, all of those books and whatever it is. Runes keep coming up too. I said that before. Whatever it is that you wanted to do with your jewelry or whatever, take that trip, whatever you wanted to do, you can still get everything done with that aligned action. But there's no need to over focus. You're going to do what you want to do. Just bring that joy into everything and don't even worry about how it's going to end up. Let the universe work with that. It's going to, they're working behind the scenes in ways to put you in front of people, to get you where you need to be in ways that you could never have even fathomed, in ways that you have no idea this is going to work out. So don't be obsessed with the numbers or how it looks on paper or how you're deeming this to be successful, right? It is. It's working. It's happening. Don't worry. So keeping you bring in that magic. And this was sort of a trick one for you, because what magic is in store for you, all of the magic that you decide you can let into your life. So it's kind of a double-edged sword with you, but the magic is all around you. It just wants to be integrated into your life. And then that's really going to increase your chances for all of the success moving forward. So I said this with Pile 1 too, and I really do mean this. I'm not just plugging the podcast here, but if you haven't checked out the podcast, this would be really helpful for you, especially episode 4 with shifting the timelines, with added advice, and also for manifestation and working with your energy too, and all of that with all the previous episodes. If you've not checked out Unicorn Light podcast, the Spotify and the iTunes, with the brand new, I was going to say season 4, but not that yet. It's still season 1, with a brand new episode 4 about shifting the timelines, because it's quite easy when you know what to do. Then check that out. This is all going to help and support you for exactly where you are. But remember, don't overthink it. Take in the information. Have fun with it. Take the information and make it fun. This is all about the journey. Remember, dance, fluid dance. Go be you. We are sending you so much support and love for exactly who you are and where you are in the world. If you have not subscribed yet, why not? Just kidding. But if you are feeling as though you'd like this energy in and around you around 3 times a week, then feel free to subscribe. And of course, hit that bell icon so you never miss a video when it is uploaded. And feel free to give us a thumbs up too, because that absolutely helps the channel and we would love that. Until we meet again, Pile 2, you go be you and go get that magic. Take care. Pile 3, this is all you. We've got the magic candle just off for you. If you chose this beautiful turquoise, I would say, bauble, that is your ornament. And again, we are finding out what magic is in store for you this holiday season. We will start off with Oracle. And again, as usual, we shall move on to some tarot. So let's find out what your reading is. You've got boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? That's your first card, Pile 3. Then you have Rebirth, 16, or 1 and 6, 7. Beautiful. And then you've got 1967, Break Your Routine. And then you've got Moon Energy, excuse me, Surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, the fairy comes to calm emotions and reassure you that peace of mind is possible. Beautiful. I love this card. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so different energy to Pile 2, but slightly in the same realm. So there's an energy around you, Pile 3. Not surprised that you are here at this reading, because there is something that you sense that is on the other side of the door that is freedom for you. And for some of you, you can't figure out how to open the door, or whether the door is really there for you, or whether the door is actually there. It is actually there. So this is all about putting your energy first. And this is all about really, and this is going to feel a little bit strange for some of you. You've been working on the boundaries. So it's not really, a lot of you have been put in a position where you've been made to kind of do the boundary thing, right? It didn't necessarily come naturally to you. However, and some of the situations could have been quite painful for you to work through with this boundary stuff. But the beauty of that situation is that you definitely got the message and you definitely learned the lesson, right? There's no way that you could have not activated yourself thoroughly through that lesson. You got it. So it's not really boundaries. So this is about you putting yourself first. And this is going to sound really strange. It's going to sound really selfish, but we want you to bear with us for a minute. This is about putting all of your needs out in front of everything else right now. This is what I want, and that's fine. Now, when you do this, it's really important that you do not pay attention to what you think the world needs, what your family needs, what anybody else needs, or what you think the world is ready for. We don't give a shite about any of that, right? You just need to put your energy out there and say, this is what I'm doing, without any of that coming in. This is where you're falling short a little bit. And you're not falling short because you're not brilliant at what you do. You're not falling short because you're not ready to move forward. You're absolutely ready to move forward. You're absolutely ready to embrace the next thing. You also have your boundaries. So you have the right, you may not have a lot of people around you, but the people that you do have around you, for the most part, have your back. And if they don't right now, everything's falling away, right? So for some of you, there's a falling away of energy. There's a falling away of alliances or friendships or even other situations, and it's painful, and our heart goes out to you without a shadow of a doubt. But these relationships were not going to be there to support you in the future. This is something you know, but it doesn't make it any less painful. So all of that is being taken care of. Whatever isn't working for you is being moved out. So that means that you have you to be able to do this. And it also means that there's plenty of space for new energy and new people to come in to support you. And they're absolutely there to be able to do it. So you're being asked to do this in a completely different way. Normally what you do when you move forward, you have different components. What do I think the world needs? How am I going to step into this? All of this. But we want you to let go of all of that and just say, I'm just here to do this. End of story. I'm just here to do this, end of story. This is what I'm supposed to do. As long as you're listening to your intuition, you're taking aligned action, and you are working from your highest self. So this is not just for you. This is for the collective, which pretty much every single one of you is doing that, right? You do not need to worry, and you do not need to worry if the world is ready for it, how they're going to respond to it. Anything. You don't need to worry about any of it. In fact, don't give it a second thought. It's really important that you break that routine of what you're doing, because some of you, all right, I'm worthy of this, and then you work on this, and then you put all of your energy behind understanding that you're worthy of it. So you've got that in line, right? You've worked up your self-confidence. You know that you're worthy of it, and that's absolutely wonderful. And then you start thinking about, oh my goodness, but how is this work is going to be taken? I don't know. Do I need to do I need to get hardened up for criticism here? Do I have to, and then it takes off in different directions. And what that happens is it's dulling down your energy for you to manifest what you need, right? So, and everything that you've done before, all that healing that you've done with the boundaries to say, I don't need this in my life, where you've worked with your vibration to bring it up higher so that the elements that aren't working in your life fall away because they no longer can work with your energy. That's just the way it works. So all of that is moving, and it's all solidifying, and it's all moving in that direction. And you've done all that beautiful work of believing in yourself, and then you kind of counteract it by trying to stay one step ahead of trying to figure out how it's going to all work out. So the best way of doing that and to break that habit completely is, as we said, don't worry about it. You don't take any of that. Take aligned action. Know that if it's what you want to do, and you absolutely know that it's aligned with your blueprint and it's for the higher good, you're just doing that. You're doing it. You don't need to worry about how the universe is going to take it, how people are going to take it, what criticism you're going to get, whatever. None of that matters. You don't need to figure it out now. You don't need to worry if you're going to offend anyone or if people aren't going to understand you. None of that. Absolutely none of it. You're just going to hear and you're just going to do and repeat after me. I'm here to do what I want, and I'm going to do it. That's it. That's your mantra. That's it. That's all you need. Right? And for a lot of you, that's going to sound really weird. It's going to sound a little arrogant, maybe a little selfish coming from the ego, but it really isn't. And the reason why we're giving you that mantra is because it's important that you see your work is important, and it's important that you stand and align in your own energy. And this is the best way for you to do it. Now, as you get aligned in your own energy and you're not listening to all that other chitter chatter in your head, you won't need to say that mantra. But for now, that's the best mantra for you. So you have this rebirth. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. And if you're sitting there going, I don't know what's going on with the universe, it ain't the universe, it's you. You're the one that's blocking yourself. And there's nothing more for you to do. It's just a matter, again, of tweaking the perception and doing things completely differently. And stop trying to be nice to everybody. You want to be really successful and you want to be brilliant at what you do, and you can be, but there's also an element of you that really wants to make sure that everybody's okay, wants to make sure that everybody loves your work. This is just a small element that's still there, and you're not here to please everybody. Your work is not going to appeal to everybody. Some people it's going to trigger the F out of them, and that's fine. That's something that they're going to have to figure out. It's not energy that you need to take on. You're not responsible for that. A lot of you were made responsible for energies, and you took on a lot of energies that you were never supposed to early on. So you take on so much when you go into a new project, and you presume that's what you need to do. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't approach it that way, and we want you to do it the way that other people do it for this time. And they're not arrogant in doing that. It's not arrogant if you're following your actual path and your blueprint, you're clicked into it, and you're working from your higher self. That's not. No matter what success you gain, you are gaining it because you're doing it for the greater good. You're also extremely good at it, and you're brilliant at it, and that's what you're here to do too. So this is about shifting your perspective and making sure that you put your energy first, and honestly, be down with everybody else. Who cares if they don't get it? The people that resonate with you are going to get it, and those people are going to be changed by everything that you do. People don't have a really hard understanding of, if something does not align with where you're at, instead of fighting it, you have something to learn from it. If you're being triggered by it, you have something to learn from it, right? But everybody wants to fight everything and be right about everything. Slowing down and realizing that the greatest enemy, or whatever it is you're fighting, is going to be your greatest teacher, right? So if you do put your work out there, we're just giving you a scenario. You put your work out there and it triggers the F out of somebody. Who cares? It's their chance to slow down and find out why they're triggered by that work, and hopefully become a better person, be much more aligned with their own facilities, their own beautiful gorgeousness in this world, their own magic, right? And now, if they don't do that, then that's not up to you to teach them. So either way, all of your focus doesn't need to be where it is. You just need to put your focus on you. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to do it. I'm aligned with my energy, and I don't care. I do not care how it's taken. The right people are going to love me, and if I trigger other people, that's fine. And I'm not here for everybody anyway. I'm not here to explain myself. If you don't believe in what I do, good for you. That's fine. I don't want the life that you're leading. That's fine. Enjoy your life. I'm living the life I lead, and I lead it, and it's a beautiful life because I believe in what I do. Right? That's it. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to make sure that everybody loves your work. There's still just a little part of you. And, and it's not like you want everybody to like you. It's just, in the past, if everybody sort of liked you, or they gave you a free pass, you didn't really want to be in the limelight, because in your power you got projected upon. So, if everybody liked you, or you got to a point where you were kind of accepted, then people left you alone. So you figured out that if you had that chameleon aspect to yourself and people liked you, they left you alone. That's the reason why you did it, right? But this is not you now. This is not younger you. This is you now. You can do whatever you want. It's not that you can't do it, but if you move forward with that understanding of, I don't want to be seen, or I don't want to be messed with, that's why I want people to like me, then you're not going to have the energy around your work. You're not going to really step up as the badass that you really are. You don't need that anymore. That was a protective mechanism for you. You needed it then, and it worked for you, right? But it's not really going to work for you now. And honestly, if you want to be your authentic self, not everybody's going to like you. That's just it. That is the absolute truth. That is golden truth. That is universal truth. It is absolutely impossible to be liked by every single person on this earth. It's absolutely impossible. Even Jesus was not liked by everybody on this earth, right? It's absolutely impossible. You can be the best person you want to be, and somebody's going to hate you. They may not have a real reason for hating you, but they're going to do it, right? It's all about them, but they're not going to see it that way. So you're not here to designate that space. You're not here to bring everybody together necessarily. You probably will, but it's not your responsibility to do it by being a chameleon and not stepping into your authenticity. Yeah, the devil. That's it. And you've got the Five of Pentacles. This is old. This is boundaries, and this is rebirth. This is old stuff. This is old stuff of doing things. And of course, what you do, and when you're in that energy of, you can sense that your authenticity is being compromised to a certain degree. And then you can slip into old habits, or you can slip into habits that, you know, don't really suit you, but give you a little bit of freedom at the time. And that's absolutely normal. Absolutely, completely normal for starseeds and light workers and empaths too. And that's something that you've done in the past. And then it also gives you this really sort of really dark version of the world, you know, because you're not stepping up in your brightness. You're not stepping up in who you are completely. You've got to dumb aspects of yourself down just to be sort of accepted so you can be left alone. Again, we're letting that go. That's what you did before. But this rebirth requires you putting yourself completely first. Yes. Come on. Absolutely. Putting yourself first. With this Empress energy, look at this woman. Does she give an F about anybody else that doesn't like it? Does she look like she cares? Does she look like she needs anybody to tell her who she is? Absolutely not. And this is who you are. You know, stepping into that version of authenticity. So this magic coming in for you is every aspect of yourself and reclaiming it in a way. You've reclaimed it for yourself in an individual notion. This is how you're going to reclaim it in the world. As you move out, this is how you reclaim it in the world. You know, she's got everything she needs. Yeah. And she's just, that's it. That's fine. You know, that's absolutely fine. And she absolutely understands without a shadow of a doubt that she's not there to save everybody. She just isn't. She really isn't. That's her power, and people can sense it. So that's it. Owning your power. People mess with you less when you own your power. They tend to step down a little bit because they don't know how to work with you. If they can sense your power, but you haven't owned it, people will mess with you. Because they can see your power, they can sense it, and it intimidates them because you don't have a hold of it yet. So they're like, oh, that's when people project upon you, right? But when you own your power and you know it, it's not that you'll never get messed with, but 9 times out of 10, people will back off. They will back off a little bit because they know at the end of the day they can't get to you. They know at the end of the day that their power it can intercept it because your power is not dependent on theirs, and they can sense that. However, if you don't own your power, some of your power is dependent on how you're treated. So yeah, this is you ship it. Oh, come on. But the Hierophant too. I mean, these are excellent cards here for you with the breaking routine and the moon energy, surrendering to all of these opportunities coming in, surrendering to the good mother goddess who's trying to help you here with all, you know, with the universe coming in with all of this energy, and they're waiting for you to step up in this energy, which you are waiting to do because you got some fierce energy, right? And normally the fierce energy comes out if you're triggered or something happens, but you've got some fierceness to you, got some fire to you. Right? And when that's directed in, for its higher self, there's nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you cannot achieve. There's no one you cannot charm. There's no situation you can't really work within, right? You absolutely have it. You have all of the energy, you have the power, and you have all of the wisdom, everything that you've been through in your past. And for some of you, you've been through a really rugged path, right? But every gem that you've picked up has put you here so you can speak to different types of people, understand where people are coming from, right? You have a higher perspective because you've gone through a lot of things. You're not claiming that you know exactly how everybody else has been through, but you also know to honor people's strength and to give people space to be who they are. Because that wasn't something that was really garnered. That was really something that was not given to you. You were not given a lot of space to be who you were. Right? You were put in a space where you had to fill a container, and you felt like you needed to do this, you felt like you needed to do that. And you sensed your power, and it came out at different moments. But this is all about you taking back your power and literally using it the way that it was intended to be used for you. And then the greater good. So, not the greater good first, for you first. It's important that you do it and you make that distinction and you put yourself first. Now, for other starseeds or other light workers, probably wouldn't say that. But for you, it's important that you put your energy first, and then, everything else sort of takes off. But these beautiful energies of, who you are, and you also know what you're here to do. You also know that what you're here to teach and what you're here to stand for, and the authenticity that you're here to integrate into the world. is necessary. And the people that will get that are the people that are going to be bringing in and solidifying the new earth. So if other people don't get it, they're not here to do that. It doesn't mean that they're lesser than, not at all. But it doesn't mean that you were here to shift them. It doesn't mean that. So it doesn't mean that if you get that criticism or people don't understand what you're doing, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're not doing what you were doing. It's just meaning that you're getting out there in such a way that you're getting to people, that people are coming in and around your work that wouldn't normally come in and around your work, right? And there might be a success story here and there. There might be some people who are like, you know what, I'm going to check this out. You never know. You absolutely never know. But not everybody is going to follow what you say. Not everybody is going to, be completely in line with what you do. And nobody cares. Andy Warhol, some people who thought he was a massive idiot. But he's still like in, every modern art book. And he kind of knew. He played the game. He kind of knew. He was like, I'm doing this. And personally, I love Andy Warhol. I think it's brilliant. But I love Jackson Pollock too, But my father thought he was an absolute idiot. It's like, what is that? That's a joke, right? So it doesn't appeal to everybody, but, particularly with Andy Warhol, he played the game. He knew what was going on. He knew what he could bring, this graphic design, and he knew that it would be controversial. He knew that some people wouldn't like it, and he played to that, right? You don't have to do it that way. I'm not saying become Andy Warhol. There's lots of different things there that I would say probably not do. But that's just seeing life as a game, seeing, lightening up here. You got that in common with Paul too. But playing the game based on what you want to do, not how the game is being played around you. This is time for you to actually take the reins of the game and say, all right, I'm playing it now. It's been played around me for years, but now I'm playing it and I know how to do it. I'm going to put my strengths forward and I'm going to play to my strengths, and that's it. I'm not here to explain. I'm not here to do that. And really step into that energy, and that rebirth will happen. Right? The rebirth will happen. And don't worry about falling back into old. That's all gone. It's crap. It's over. It's not crap, but some of it was crappy, but you don't need to go back to it. You're not slink back into it. It's over, right? So breaking your routine, moving in, and also it allows you to move into the state of grace, which would be wonderful for you, where you release into your energy, know exactly what the next step is. And this is something that you've been missing a little bit, but it will come in. That beautiful alliance that you have with the universe really just sort of moves that forward. And that's absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? Whatever you're working on to and whatever you do is a little bit further down the line. There's a divine timing element to it. So, at the time when you wrote it, it may not have gone so well in the world, to be honest with you. But now it's going to be taken a little bit differently. It's going to be worked a little bit differently. So all the energy that you're putting out there, trying to figure out ahead of time how this is going to work out, it's based on old timelines. So it's kind of a waste of time anyway. Just concentrate on stepping into that energy and really bringing in that rebirth that has been trying to come in for so long, Pal 3. You've absolutely got this. So we are sending you so much support and love for exactly who you are and where you are. And again, that beautiful podcast, which is mine, Unicorn Light Podcast, episode 4 is about switching or moving into different timelines. It's pretty amazing. There's a lot of great factual information in there for you to do that. This would be great for you too. And check out the other episodes if you haven't. Spotify and the link for iTunes is down below. It's there for you completely free to get some more information, some more support, and some more magic in your life. So take it if you want it. And also, if you have not subscribed already, we would love to have you, because we have 3 readings a week. And also hit that bell icon so you never miss a reading. And of course, give it a thumbs up. The reading a thumbs up. We'd love to hear from you, because of course that helps the channel. And we would really, really appreciate it. All right, Pal 3, go get your new beginning, go get your rebirth, and go be your badass self. I mean, in every direction, in every form. The world is ready, and even if it isn't, you're ready. So who cares, right? Take care until we meet again. Bye, Pile 3.